Good morning, good morning, good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. But before we get into things, folks, first the usual disclaimers. In the description box, you're going to see a link to the article the JRC doesn't want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, where they surveyed over 900 ABA professionals for all over the world regards to the Judge Rotenberg Center's quote-unquote behavioral treatment program. In fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit. So, since we be petty, please spread on all your social media, read, and let's make it viral. You're also going to see in there NeuroClastic's public statement on the threat, and you're also going to see in there the GoFundMe that was started by one of us, just in case the JRC decides to see through with their threat. We are crowdfunding, folks, so if you can spare anything, please do. Please share on your social media. We also have links in regards to the Agape boarding school situation. Please go ahead and take a look at those. I am working up on building more resources on that particular case. And we also have the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. Folks, when we discuss the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of peoples with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, all right? It is 3:53 a.m. in the morning. I'm not even close to being awake. So if I stumble over my words, apologies in advance, all right? Okay, so where we left off yesterday, 88. Students with reported histories of aggression or injury are often excluded from participating in the classroom and placed in conference rooms as means of control targeted behaviors. Some of these students were observed to be fully restrained in restraint chairs and wearing movement limiting helmets. Haven't we already gone over this, JRC? Or do you just enjoy your redundancy? Looks like they got a few more things to say, folks. Fuck me. Only a very small percentage of JRC students engage in behaviors that are so dangerous that they have to be removed from their classroom for safety reasons and given their lessons in the conference room. Again, I will ask what's triggering these behaviors, but the JRC can't be asked, in spite of getting $275,000 ahead every year. Typically, these students that have not progressed significantly with JRC's positive only behavior modification treatment program and are awaiting court approval of supplemental aversives. Oh, here we go. So we're isolating them and we are provoking them to have behaviors so we can then slam them on the torture device because they're not responding to, tokens like a fucking dog. You've already said, JRC, that positive behavioral reinforcement is a theory, and you have already stated that you don't have any concept under God as to how it works. So you have to excuse me if I don't think that you are utilizing that particular program correctly. I think that program is a fucking joke. It's like the rest of ABA, still based on Pavlov and how to train a dog. But I guess different subject, different day, huh? The need for a student's placement in a restrictive setting is reviewed daily by members of the student's treatment team. Again, I will tell you again, when your treatment team is all surrounded, it's people being paid and working for that school, it's biased and fucking stupid. A treatment team should include doctors outside of the JRC who literally have nothing to fucking do with them. They don't get paid for them. They don't have any family members that work for them. They are no way or shape or form in any way associated with the JRC. You need one, at least one, for the love of God. unbiased person. The treatment team for any student with a high frequency of dangerous behaviors is constantly working to make modifications to that student's program to reduce the unsafe behaviors and return the student to a less restrictive setting. Oh, fuck me. They always say that shit, but we're going to use it as a punishment and a detriment. You also know how spanking worked, right? You didn't threaten away shit. We just got better at hiding it. Okay? We on the same page here, JRC? Corporal punishment doesn't work. There's a reason why it was taken out of regular schools. You shouldn't get a fucking free pass on it just because you don't understand. Understand this, JRC. Okay? Punishing someone for having a behavior as opposed to finding out what's triggering the behavior and providing reasonable accommodations. Just saying. Just saying. Teachers are assigned to each student and meet with the student daily to go over academics. The students are always presented with academics pursuant to their IEP goals, even when in alternate settings. But that's not what has been found out now, is it, JRC? You've been found more than once to not meet state standards for special education, haven't you? Haven't you? And since you are taking students in from other states and you're not meeting their state requirements, you have to forgive me if I don't take your word for it. When you sit a kid in front of a fucking computer all day and say, but they're learning programs. Computer programs are no substitute for being in a real classroom with a real fucking teacher. There's no substitute for that. There's no substitute for learning how to socialize in a manner that you'll be able to get along independently or interdependently, as it were. Okay? It's just not. Making them robotically respond in full sentences like that? Are you kidding me? It's a joke, and it's a bad one. And what's really sad is that they don't even seem to understand that. They don't understand how juvenile and absolutely useless their entire program is. It's a joke. A horrific joke. Just saying. The fact of the matter is, these guys don't give a shit about the kids' IEPs and have been known to make decisions that are complete opposite of students' IEPs time and again. They do not provide any real transition services to come out of that place. They are academically behind the entirety of the rest of their state. They fall behind. And they treat these kids like animals. Yes, JRC, even your quote-unquote high-functioning ones. Because let me tell you something, as someone who was once called high-functioning. That shit that you are doing to the other kids around them, yeah, that's abusive too, Karen. Because they have to not respond and turn their fucking emotions off and their compassion off, lest they're going to be the next one hauled into court. Do you know how many people who were those high-functioning, quote-unquote, students that probably wanted to come forward but were conditioned not to? I'm going to end on that note. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. Please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning. As always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.